Divine breath for billions of believers across Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. The story starts with one simple image: God creating humans and breathing life into them. In Genesis, Adam is formed from the dust of the ground, but he's just a clay figure until God leans close and breathes into his nostrils the breath of life. Suddenly, he becomes a living soul. Islam describes something similar. Allah fashioned man from clay, then breathed into him of his spirit. The soul is not recycled or borrowed. It's a gift directly from the Creator. This view paints the soul as brand new, a masterpiece made by God, unique to you, carrying divine essence. That's why, in these traditions, human life is sacred, because the soul inside is not just energy but something handcrafted by God himself. But does God create a new soul at the moment of conception, or do parents somehow transmit it along with the body? Either way, the idea is the same. Your soul begins the moment God wills it, and it's yours forever. Cosmic recycling. Now, let's flip perspectives. In Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, the soul doesn't have a starting point at all. It's eternal. In Hindu thought, the soul, called Atman, has always existed, moving through endless cycles of birth and rebirth, known as samsara. Your body dies, but your soul just changes costumes, slipping into a new life. What decides your next form? Karma. Every action adds up like points in a cosmic ledger. If you live selfishly, you might return in a lower state, even as an animal or into a life of hardship. Live wisely, kindly, and you move closer to liberation. Buddhism shifts the focus slightly. No permanent soul, it teaches that the reborn consciousness is shaped by karma. The ultimate goal isn't to keep cycling, it's to break free entirely, reaching nirvana, a liberation beyond birth and death. Even ancient Greece touched on this idea. Philosophers like Pythagoras and Plato suggested souls recycle through different bodies. Some even claim to remember their past lives. This vision of the soul is less about one spark of life and more about a traveler on an endless journey, gathering wisdom until it learns the ultimate lesson. Pre-existence of souls. Plato had another twist. Not only do souls survive death, they exist before birth. According to him, souls come from a higher realm of truth, where they once knew everything. But when a soul enters a body, it forgets. Life becomes a process of remembering what the soul already knew. This idea echoes in Mormon belief. In Latter-day Saint teachings, souls existed as spirit children with God before being born on earth. Life here is a test, a temporary assignment before returning to the divine family. Other mystics also held to pre-existence. Some early Christians believed souls were created long before bodies and waited to be placed into flesh. This view flips the question of where do we come from upside down. You weren't created at birth. You've been around just waiting for your turn to enter the stage of life. Ancestral spirits. Across Africa, Polynesia, and among Native American traditions, the soul is less about individuality and more about continuity. When a child is born, many communities believe it isn't just a new life, it's an ancestor returning. The soul flows through family lines like blood, linking the living to the dead. In some traditions, newborns are seen as carrying traits or destinies of those who came before. Your soul is not only yours, it belongs to the chain of your people. This makes the soul communal, not isolated. Life isn't about an individual spark. It's about carrying forward ancestral power, memory, and protection. It's a worldview that keeps the dead close, not far away in heaven or hell, but present, walking with the living through every generation. Energy and consciousness. Modern spirituality often describes the soul less in religious terms and more in cosmic, energetic ones. Imagine the universe as a vast ocean of consciousness. Each soul is like a wave that rises from it. For a while, it exists as something individual. You, me, everyone we know. But eventually, the wave sinks back into the ocean, rejoining the whole. This is the view of many New Age traditions, theosophy, and mystical philosophies. Souls are expressions of universal consciousness, temporary yet eternal. It's not so much that your soul is created, it's more that it emerges, like a frequency tuning into existence. Birth is just a vibration taking shape. Death is that vibration dissolving back into silence. Or souls aren't products or possessions, they're movements of energy. No soul at all. Finally, there's the most radical view. Maybe there's no soul at all. In Buddhism, the doctrine of anatta, no self, teaches that what we call a soul is an illusion. There's no permanent essence inside you. Instead, there are 5 skandhas, or aggregates: body, feelings, thoughts, impulses, and consciousness. They create the sense of self, but none of them are lasting. Modern science leans this way too. Neuroscience suggests our sense of self is just the product of brain activity. When the brain stops, the self disappears. From this perspective, there's no soul waiting to be born or reborn, just biology switching on and off. For many, this sounds bleak, but for others, it's freeing. If there's no permanent soul, then clinging, fear, and ego lose their grip. Life becomes precious precisely because it's fleeting.